BTV, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we back with another one. I got a guy that a lot of you may not know, but I've been watching for the last probably 4 years. Very educated man. Um, he thinks before he speaks. You know what I'm saying? And he real thorough. I like what he do in the gym. You know what I mean? Coach Woody Sylvain, what's going on? I'm good, man. First of all, how did you get into boxing?
Actually, my wife got. She wanted to take a couple classes one time. She went across the hall from a gym we was at, and from there she started training. One day she wanted me to take a class with her. I started training. The coaches took me under their wing, and I started from there.
Know that all that time. I've been around you. Um, what's the most what's the most exciting thing you think about coaching for you? Yeah, like what?
Every aspect, because I want to be on the official side, reference side, coaching side. But of course, the most important thing to me, honestly, is just trying to help as many people get good and chase their dream. I don't even want to shine. I want to see somebody get that belt for themselves and just watch that happen. I'd probably say officially, when I first got my book, that probably was 6 years ago. But I was at it probably 4 years before that.
What you think? Well, you already answered that. Like you kind of said, you basically want to get somebody to the promised land, but not for yourself, but for them.
Camera like that. I'd do it, but I ain't out there like that.
What's it like being being in the gym with your wife? Like you said, you was introduced by your wife, basically.
Always something that we could share, and she keep me on my toes. She always trying to punch on me, so that's always nice. No, it's something that keep us connected. Honestly, it's real cool.
Fighter is right now in the game.
Favorite, obviously, you can say Boots. You can say all the guys that we seen live in the gym, the guys that we seen personally. But I actually like a couple underrated guys. I like Junto Nakatani. He one of my favorites. But
Lopez every time. Yeah, right. What? All right, so let's cut right into it. Right today, when before you was leaving out of the gym, you and your wife y'all asked me a question, and I thought it was interesting. I was like, "Yo, we got to talk about that." You asked me, "Do I think Keyshawn Davis could have possibly been on steroids?" And I
yeah,
never, throughout all of this shit, I never thought about it, and I thought that was real interesting. Tell me why you asked me that.
oh, hold up. They saying I'm freezing.
Okay.
Yeah, they saying I'm freezing and they can't hear me.
Oh shit. So nobody can hear him.
I want to make sure they good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they say you good now.
All right.
All right. So again, the question was, you asked me today before you left the gym, do I think Keyshawn was on steroids? And I'm like, damn, that's interesting. Why did you ask me?
Cause I just seen lately his actions and how he been moving been real aggressive, real. He seemed angry all the time. He seemed like he trying to get at somebody over everything, and I know that shit kind of make you aggressive. We seen how Ryan was acting when he popped. It was out of character in the beginning when he first started doing it, and now it's popping up again. And
Mm.
he went at Abdullah for seemingly no reason. He just seemed real antsy all the time, real ready to get at something for nothing.
Mm. I thought that was real interesting, man, because you made me think about it, and I'm like, yeah, he was kind of like fired up, you know what I'm saying? And then
And it was
and
like
then
out of nowhere.
yeah, yeah, and then it was the lack of focus for me. It was that's why when you asked me that, I'm like, damn, I got to think about that because it was the lack of focus. You know what I mean? The fact that you got a live guy in front of you and you chose to sit there and try to pick on Abdullah Mason, I thought that was weird. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when you said that today, I'm like, yo, I'm like, that's crazy because that's a possibility. You know what I mean? Could you really see that though?
Yeah, I could, just because I know a lot of times it don't even be the fighters. Sometimes it be their nutritionists, the managers. They usually try to get them to get that edge once they put them on that championship route. So
Mm,
they might, try to just let's enhance them a bit, just something small, something little, just keep it going over time. And he might be none the wiser to it, but you
mm.
never know. Or he might know and try to cover it up, but whatever. I can't speculate on that, but it was
Yeah.
just weird.
It was just the behavior, right, that was getting to you. And then also I was thinking too, I'm like, yo, for him to already fuck up, why would he push it even further and fuck up some more? So that's
Right.
why
That
I'm
wasn't it was like real
correct.
out of control. It was like
Yeah.
you already know you messed up. Like usually people just would like chill, try to play low key, and then, fall back and get their name back on the next one. But that was just real out of nowhere.
Mm. Yeah, I kind of thought that too, especially when you brought it to my attention. And I'm like, you know what, man? These dudes, when they get to the top level, they do be playing around. And then it was crazy how he was speaking. He was almost speaking like De Los Santos was nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what's giving him that mindset? And I thought at the same time, I thought he was kind of nervous too about the fight. You know what I mean? Because how he was going about things. You know what I'm saying? He was real jumpy and he was real. I felt like he was nervous because he just wouldn't chill. He didn't have no chill. And what I mean by that is a lot of times when guys getting closer to the fight, you know what I mean? They find a seat and they get it together. He was
Right.
he was like finding any reason to talk, finding any reason to be in somebody's face. He was in everything. They had him asking questions to his brothers at the press conference, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, why are he doing all of that? Like, you know what I mean? What is
Right.
so fun?
It was real weird about it. And it's like people, I mean, I think you said it, that it could be because he home and then everybody else getting in his ear, all that hometown bravado.
Mm,
It was just odd because he even seen Andy Cruz talking shit right in front of him, and he fist bumped them, and they just talked their shit and went their separate way.
right.
But this is the one that sends you flying off the handle. It's like odd.
Somebody said in the comments that we speculating too much. I mean, but we only going there because we trying to figure out what would make a man who's already lost $1 million fight, um, $1 million payday, and then out of nowhere you going at a kid who is the co-main who's earned it. You know what I'm saying? He earned that spot to be the co-main event. You already threw all that in the trash. He turned it to be the main event. But then after the fight, I mean, after the weigh-ins, the next day, the fight day, he was moving around like he had did nothing. You know what I mean? He walking around the arena, talking to people, you having fun. And I'm not saying you're supposed to be sitting in the hole, crying, but it was like, damn, he really ain't have no type of remorse about what he did. And then after all of that, your brother lose to somebody it was possible for him to lose to, and instead of just taking the loss and just moving on and taking saying my brother just got to get better. My brother, he got to do his thing. He kind of he kind of like just went overboard with the going in the locker room and going at the man. I thought that was crazy.
Away from his brothers. Yeah, one brother lost, but now you hurting all of y'all name because y'all that trio. And he was the main guy of that trio. He was supposed to be like the example, even though Kelvin older, he was supposed to be that guy leading the charge. And now
Right.
it's just looking crazy for all three of them because of that. And now Kelvin got to explain it. Now they got to come out and do all this. They apologizing if they want to. It was just weird.
But I thought that was crazy too. After apology, after everybody waiting on some type of apology to see what he on, the brother, the big brother who took the loss, who they said was chilling in the back, and it's on video, he was chilling. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Towards Albright after the fight, Keyshawn was losing his mind. But after all of that, he apologizing on behalf of him and his brothers. But it was him that I mean, it was him that he was chilling. He was like he was falling back.
Right.
My mind going crazy right now. My bad. But
No, you good.
are we supposed to accept that apology coming from him? And it was his brother that was really tripping, and he was the one fucked up the car.
I mean, I guess somebody had to say something, and
Yeah,
we can accept it. We don't have to accept it.
yeah,
It is what it is. Like he got his own thoughts about it. He got his own explanation about it. But
yeah,
I just think he couldn't say nothing because he's gonna have to meet with the board. He's gonna have to do this. So anything that you admit can be used as guilt per
yeah,
se. So he
yeah.
can't say nothing right now.
Let's be honest, right? A lot of these guys, especially on the top level, they not fighting as often as fighters used to. Um, but they get in the ring, maybe a Keyshawn twice a year, maybe three times, depending on what type of year he having. What do you think the punishment should be? Yeah,
Everybody a lot of money. So
yeah,
I mean, the punishment could be anything from bans to get him getting dropped from top rank.
yeah,
Do all that. Now you could.
mm, yeah. They say you froze again, and they say your audio off. I don't know how that be happening, and I can hear you clear. I think that's crazy. Shit definitely happens. Um, I mean, if
I know.
if it was if it was your fighter who acted like that, how would you feel, and and what would you do?
I mean, first of all, that's something that wouldn't be tolerated. Honestly, like obviously, if it's a kid that I know for a long time, I'm not gonna like just turn my back on him. But it's something that got to be talked about behind closed doors, and we really got to figure out what got him going crazy. We might have to take some time off and just like just chill, get his mind right. Maybe the pressure, this and that. So we got to see where he actually at mentally and emotionally. So I
Mm,
would have to really sit with him and take a couple days with him.
yeah, yeah. You got to figure out where he at. Do you
Right.
kind of see with all the traits we've been seeing? Do you think he really like one of them people who really suffer from some type of mental health issues where it could throw him off like this, or
I
is he
mean,
just a big
we
baby?
all we all in boxing. We all in boxing. Like we all got something wrong with it.
Right, right.
I just don't want it to be used as I think he got a lot of pressure, but this is kind
Mm,
of like as far as keeping him in check. This is what he worked for, and he
yeah,
worked his ass off for it. So
yeah,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah. Real shit. Got to man up. Um, did you watch the rest of the card though? Did you watch the fights on the card?
Yeah, yeah, we watched him.
So what you think about Abdullah Mason? How do you see his future panning out?
I mean, they moving real smart, so I see him going pretty far. They're not rushing anything. He not, taking no crazy fights. Even if I think he had a chance to fight De Los Santos, and they said, "Nah, we moving how we want to move." So Smart team, smart kid. Seems like he got a good head on his shoulders, so I think he'll go far.
Yeah. Did you all right? So with the Kelvin and Nair Albright fight, what did you expect before the fight? What did you think before the fight when you heard about the matchup?
I thought it was a good matchup. I honestly think Kelvin is probably the worst brother of the three. No disrespect to him, but just looking at the skills, I think he's like, you know, third man on the DB3 list. But I thought it was something Nair could make a real good fight out of it. I didn't think they would give him a decision because you know how politics go. I
Yeah.
thought it would be real hard for him to get a decision. And I honestly thought up until they announced it that they might make it a draw. But
Mm,
I mean, I feel like he did enough to win, but it's not like Kelvin was a lame duck. He fought, but I mean, I
mm,
think the right man won.
yeah. What you think about Troy Osley fight? Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did. I just felt like he couldn't quite getting his rhythm and getting his range, and like the guy was giving him a lot of trouble. But I felt like there were spots he could have pressed on the gas, but something was making him hesitate.
Yeah.
And when he did, like he got bored, stuck a couple times, but then he would just let him off the hook.
Right.
I
I
felt like he probably could have got him out of there.
Yeah, I thought that guy had some type of power that we wasn't seeing, but it was there.
Must have been
Yeah, you know what I mean, guys. You got a lot of time fighters they don't tell the truth. When a guy could punch and but they acting like it, and I think
right.
that's what it was. I think that's what the hesitation was when I watched the fight. I didn't get to see it that night, but I looked back at it. You know what I mean, and checked it out. Um, what about Scooter
Yeah, he was
Davis?
moving real tricky too.
Yeah, he was.
That guy he was fighting, he had some good punch angles. He and every time Troy came in, he was letting that shit go. So I guess it made him hesitate.
Did you check out Scooter Davis?
I saw like the very end of it, mostly highlights, and then the very end with the body shot.
Yeah, what you think about him though as a fighter?
From what I've seen, he looks like he's good. I mean, we don't know because he's getting the lighter touches right now, but we
Mhm.
will see what it is. But he looks strong. He looks polished, and he got a hell of a body shot on him. Got a good punch. So
Yeah. Tiger Johnson, what about him?
another one that was like kind of scared to pull the trigger. His coach was snapping in that corner trying to get him to go fight this ball.
Yeah,
But it's like Tiger reverted every time he got hit, he reverted back to his boxing style. He reverted back to sitting on the back foot trying to step back and counter
yeah,
until like the eighth round. He started trying to go get him and then he was
yeah, yeah. I want to see him go to that body more. I think that's like a
yeah,
lost
but
art
going
in
to that
boxing.
body, you got to get in that kitchen.
Yeah,
You
that's
got you
true.
got to get in there. You got to get in that fire to go to the body.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I'm sorry about that, but listen, I got Coach Woody Sylvain on here. We breaking it down. You know what I mean? He giving me his assessment. Um, like I said, he asked me a question today about do I think is it possible that Keyshawn was fucking around with steroids? And after watching the behaviors, I mean, I'm like, I ain't, I
Yeah,
ain't.
it just don't seem right. Right. It don't seem right for him. Like, because we seen him be cool under stupid circumstances before. Like with Andy getting on him the whole time, but still coming up to dap him up, and he just gave him a fist bump and went about his way. Like, not tripping. Like he know what he got on the line. Like, so that's just real out of pocket for him.
Thinking about it, I think it was a lot of embarrassment. I think it was a lot of embarrassment. I think it was some jealousy. I think it was some envy. I think it was a lot of things he was battling with that night inside of his mind. Abdullah, Abdullah, who was?
Worried about Abdul. I'm talking about like when he actually came at Abdullah. He was the headliner still at that point. So why would he come at? Why would he be jealous of him? Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
saying, I'm saying you, James Brown. The show is about you, but then you fuck up, and now we gotta put Rick James on. Now we gotta get Rick James out here.
Chill out. Your next card will be big. Don't mess nothing else up. It's not like you lose your name over that one missed weight. Everybody like David Benavidez has missed weight. Tank has missed weight before. Like all these big guys, they recover from that, and he could have recovered from that just fine. It's the aftermath of the fight that made it 10 times worse. Now everybody compiling that together.
For Keyshawn when he decided to come back, because he basically said, I'm not a 135 pounder anymore. So if he come back at 140 pounds, what should be the fight for him?
See like how long he gonna even be out if they decide to keep him out. We gotta see because you know how boxing moves. The fight today might not be the big fight when he ready or when they let him fight again. But I would love to see the Frank Martin fight. The Frank Martin fight would be nice. I feel like that's a 50-50. Uh, I would like to see him fight Hitchens. That'd be a good one. There's a lot of smoke at 40.
He said these young boys are getting too much attention, too fast with social media hype and rush to get the bag. Back in the days, it was about patience and skill development and maturity to get the bag, to get to the bag. Do you agree?
Swindling guys. They were swindling guys bad. They were swindling these fighters a lot. So yeah, these guys are getting a lot of money because they're a lot more business savvy. But now it's gone to the point where they think they too smart. So now they kind of swindle themselves out of bags and doing dumb shit and talking about fights but never actually fighting. So it's like it's both evils. It's just both sided.
And that instant fame, these guys is getting big pretty quick just based off of social media. Derek James, what up? Is that my bad? Go ahead. Is that the real Derek James, or is somebody calling themselves Derek James, or is that just a person named Derek James? Think that somebody just named Derek James?
And it's the same.
Man, we gotta wrap it up, bro. Not me and you, but I'm talking about me and Derek James got to talk. He said I'm fake, bro.
Ain't fake. You here? You alive, money?
Hey, yo, that's funny as shit, man. That's funny as shit. But what do you think about the state of boxing, like where we at with it, and just how the business is?
Better and worse at the same time because it's just like I feel like a lot of guys are just doing all this call out and all this fake tough guy stuff just to try to sell fights and they're not really getting the fights. But it's starting to pick up with some of the cards that's been coming through. That last card, as bad as the last Turkey card was, we did get a couple guys to actually match up, and we did see a couple fights, and then we did see a couple big names not too long ago. So it's happening, it's moving, but it's just moving slow and kind of weird right now. And then the whole Turkey thing, I'm still on the fence about. That's a weird situation, but he is putting money into the game, so we kind of got to deal with it.
I like the fact that he pushing for big fights though. He just trying to. I think some of the fights are like dream fights, and they may be a little bit too out there. But you know, I do like that he trying. Derek James says, "Do y'all think Keyshawn was scared of Santos?" I believe so. I think so. I think he was not scared to the point he wouldn't fight him, but I think that fight made him nervous. I think the fight made him nervous because how he handled everything. The energy was just all over the place and he couldn't control it. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was kind of crazy that he lost control of himself. Like, you know what I mean? I thought that was kind of crazy.
In his head, or he watched that fight against El Rayo and realized he got cracked, or somebody was just like telling them about him.
That everybody knew. Everybody that bought a ticket, they bought a ticket this time, not for support. They bought the ticket because they wanted to see a great fight out of Keyshawn. And I felt like they thought that this was the guy. Everybody thought this was the guy because we heard in different interviews, this guy can really punch. You know what I'm saying? This guy can really punch. Uh and we know he got some speed. We know he awkward. So I think the fight made him a little nervous. I think the whole hype of it and him trying to hype it up, I think was just driving him crazy, man. And he kind of just lost it. You know what I mean?
Camp to just be like, no, we ain't making this weight. We gonna find a way out of it.
from from what I understand now as a 38-year-old man that I didn't understand back when I was 15, 16, 17, you gotta rest, man. You gotta train, you gotta rest, you gotta run at the right times, you gotta eat the right shit. You just gotta be militant. You gotta put yourself in the cell. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be like an army man. You feel me? And I don't think he yeah, you got to be very disciplined. And I don't think he was. I think he was just having fun. I think he was just absorbing all the energy that was being brought to him. And instead of him saying, "No, I don't want to deal with that right now," he was just going about it like whatever happened, happened. Of course he
Right.
knew, of course he knew he was up in weight, but I think he just thought, all right, the last day or two, I'll just get the rest off. And it don't work like that sometimes.
Or do you think he tried to, keep that weight on as an advantage, or just try to miss the fight completely?
I mean, possibility. It's definitely a possibility for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
it's
definitely a
crazy.
possibility for sure. Hey, appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. It's 319 people here, 99 likes with 9.99 on the table. I appreciate the love. I really do. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. What you think though? How about his brothers? What you think if you was Kelvin Davis, how would you move?
Said what he needed to say. He did his little PR piece. Just fall back, go back in the gym and train, because he didn't do anything. So he should get another opportunity. I know his brother is, part of him, and they might be, moving together, but you just you just got to keep on moving. Like, a loss is a loss. Cool. Go back to the gym, figure it out, try to get the rematch if you can, and then do what you got to do.
But look, if that was your fighter, he stands about 6'2", he 140 pounder. That's a very big guy for the weight class. What would have been your game plan for that fight?
Stop trying to pull the hell up. He's so used to being the taller guy, he used to pulling away from shots, and he just stood up straight trying to pull away from that right hand, got caught. Because Wu is like sneaky fast, apparently, because he catching motherfuckers with that right hand. So I know he's sneaky quick. And I seen him spar live and just throughout the gym time I've been in there. And it's just like he's sneaky fast. Like, he'll explode, or he'll lower you the seat. He'll just move his head. He'll like put his jab hand out there, then he'll just shoot some explosive shit. So he's sneaky fast. And a lot of guys like not ready for that, because he'll lull you to sleep and then pop you. And Kelvin used to just pulling, pulling, pulling. He ain't circle out. He ain't move his head. Nothing. He wasn't using his jab well enough. A lot of feints. He was just kind of waiting for Wu, and then he found out what he was waiting for.
Nair Albright, or in this position as a coach, as his coaches, what would you want to see next for him?
Running back with Keyshawn, but we gotta see how that play out. And I wouldn't want him to wait for that. I think he just gotta, get back on a big stage, on a big top ranked card, or whatever they got coming up next. He can get in within a timely fashion. Get back on another top ranked card against. They'll probably try to put him up against another contender type guy, another up and comer. They'll probably try to do that.
He felt good at 140. What you think? You think he should stay at 40 and compete there?
feel good, if he feels strong at 40, feel healthy. If 35 might drain him now, especially if you know try to go up and down, up and down, up and down. So stick with one, go with it, see where it take you. Because he looked like he lasted all. He just gotta maintain it. Don't keep changing.
I know we tapping into your bedtime. You explained that to me earlier.
Sleep by now. I get to the gym at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be cooked.
Shit for that, but I respect the grind. Hey, let everybody know where they can follow you, man, and what you got going on.
Score PB on IG. I'm in the gym. Parabellum Boxing on IG, all one word. Parabellum boxing, all one word. I'm in the gym. I'm training these guys. I want to see as many young guys win as I can. Other than that, we chilling. I'm simple. I'm simple. I'm in the gym at home. That's it.
Brother.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you. Let's get it. GHB TV, y'all, with another one. This was a half-hour special. I had to do this because the man asked me a great question earlier, and it made me think. And I mean, y'all can take it and do what y'all want with it. But I'm Greg Hackett. This is GHB TV. This is Coach Woody Sylvain. And guess what? I'll be back in a little bit. Thank y'all.